Yes, we are truly fired up and so excited to be back on the super amazing platform to bring you up to speed with happenings in the world of football. The show is Football Bankers. Ladies and gentlemen, if this were to be a show that has a scope beyond just talking football, we should be celebrating the Tigers at this time. Remember, the girls won their 5th back-to-back Afro basket title. Remember, they also got 100,000 US dollars each, the same amount given to the Super Falcons. So we're saying congratulations to the girls. And on that note, we say welcome to the show. So much making the rounds in the world of football. And we are set to sail at the other side. We'll see you.
Baba, I'm tired of losing on sport bets, so how do I improve my luck?
Oh, look, you don't need any luck with N1BET Casino. With N1BET, you get triple luck.
You know, feel lose anyway. N1BET not the way. You get 20% cash back when you're betting no enter. You go get 100% of your first 3 deposits. And each deposit fee be your chance to win 500k jackpot.
Play games and win with N1BET Casino.
Yes, welcome back. The show is Football Bankers, made possible by N1BET. Remember, the platform to be at this time is N1BET.ng. They guarantees you the best odds as far as your fixtures are concerned. And if you are a first-time customer in just your first deposit, you are also guaranteed over 100% bonus on offer, precisely on arrival. And also, their payout mechanism is one of the most swift you can get as far as your bookmakers are concerned. The show is Football Bankers, and we are so excited to be back. Farouk, I said it earlier, if this were to be a show that gives us a scope to cover across board, we should be celebrating the Tigers at this time.
To be honest, a few words won't be bad to celebrate them because they have persevered, they've been very consistent, and they're also champions once again. And the way and manner they have done this all through the years shows that they know exactly what they are doing. And they now coincide to when dollar reigns across board. So if you're in sport, whether footballer, wrestler, basketballer, you're playing tennis, just ensure that you have a gold medal on your neck at the highest level. Then I'm very sure you will be celebrated. For the girls, well done once again. 7 times out about now and 5 times back to back, breaking the record of Senegal. It is amazing. And for the girls, I want to say well done and enjoy your own as well as your money.
Interesting, Farouk. Bolu, I remember I tweeted something after that announcement of 100,000 US dollars for the Falcons were made, was that our respective national teams across the major sports has just been made highly competitive.
That's what it is. It is what it is. But it's good to note one thing. You remember that phrase, what a man can do, a woman can do better.
Yes.
If you don't believe that phrase, just follow Nigerian sports. You will understand that it means even though you don't get 100,000 because of say Falcons, it was a record 10th, like decimal or X. See Falcons record 5 straight. Even if your own is up to 100k. Just do well. One thing is almost guaranteed. You can get an apartment. You can get a national honor. Even though it's MON, it's better than nothing. Then more money. Just do well. Olympics is around the corner. AFCON proper is coming on later this year. AFCON for players in Africa Chan is ongoing. The World Cup is coming next year. Hopefully Nigeria gets to qualify. The WAFCON again next year. The Women AFCON in 2 years. It means compete well. Do well and win. And something better is coming up for you. So this time, did you hear players complain about bonuses or allowance? No, when there's something coming up from the presidency, just do well and achieve success and better they come.
Very interesting. Let's talk about these guys who are also chasing the presidential address, the Chan Eagles.
You should say that they chase, huh?
But they started on a sloppy note, losing to the Senegalese.
Yeah, I saw the match. It was a very, very costly error because the only error they made in that match, cost us that goal. Should have ended in a draw. And perhaps even slightly better than the Senegalese. But Senegalese, they are very, very mean defensively.
Yes.
And you have to sweat, break them down to completely get behind them. Unfortunately, we made that silly mistake, cost us. And a lot of people are now complaining about who should have been the coach or who should have not. This is how makes the job of Eric Chell very, very, very difficult. If we were to be the guys that taught them to the Ogumode as well as the other guy, I think it would have been nice for them. But at the end of the day, it's not about who is taking them at this point in time. You have seen the first game, make adjustments, try and do the necessary, correction. Then hopefully you can see with the next 2 games and qualify. for the next round. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. That's the most important thing. And now that you also know that you have to also do well, it might not be as big as the Super Eagles or probably the Super Falcons, but at least win first. There's something might just come your own way as well.
Bolu, the next game will be up against Sudan. You talk about this one as we build up to the game against Sudan. Mistakes that needs to be corrected.
Well, one of the complaints many people made was they couldn't understand what we were playing. The style, the formation was difficult. But there's no excuse on the part of the coach because he had more than enough time to prepare this squad. Remember, he invited 35 players at first, even though 28 came to camp before selecting who he thinks are the best. And out of the 20 outfield players, 9 of them were from Real Madrid, the champions of the NPFL, which means the team bonding is supposed to be with the squad. But again, the good news at least is they play the biggest team first in the group phase.
Yes.
It means they are playing against the whipping boys, talk about Senegal, Sudan, and Congo. If they can't build well to beat those two teams, then probably we have no business being in this competition. I like that they play Senegal first. I wish they could have got at least a point from that game. The goal was too embarrassing to concede, waiting for a goalkeeper to come and collect the ball from the middle of the park. But that is gone. Now we have to focus on our second game against Sudan. They have the squad, they have the players, they have the quality. And now they have to do the job on the field of play. I'm sure what will be going on in their mind is Falcons got paid. The Tigers got played. And if Nigeria win this, it will be the first time Nigeria winning chance.
Yes.
It also opens up chance for another month. So I think you have nobody needs to encourage you. Encourage yourself. Because when you win, if you win, presidential handshake and something extra from there. So I wish them all the best. I think they should do enough to beat Sudan because Sudan and Congo naturally shouldn't be competing with Nigeria.
Farouk, in very few words, are you of the opinion that we should have allowed our local coaches gaffer this team? We're talking of a team that is grown from the NPFL. Why bring the Super Eagles coach to gaffer the team? Is this a minus on our part?
To a large extent, I think I would have preferred that the guys that qualify for the chance should be allowed to, take care of this team. Yeah. The combination between Wenda and Nichku are perfect. They are like Simon, brothers from and they work very, very well. And they also understand what is obtainable here in the country, how to motivate the guys. But not to say that Elisha does not also deserve to be there because he's the one earning the largest chunk of money in this country. And it's also in a very, very dire need because we have to qualify for the World Cup. He might have used this as a momentum that is going to build leading up to those qualifications that are very, very important for us. But at the end of the day, whoever takes charge does not matter. Those two guys are also there with him, but he needs to also work and collaborate well with them because as far as they are there, as long as they are there, it does not change anything, so to speak. But at the end of the day, it's about them working well together and giving us the best job. But I would have loved it if those guys that are coaching them are also from Nigeria because it is called CHAN for home base. For footballers.
Absolutely. Well, let's see how the guys would be able to turn the corners in their second game as well as their last group games. Nigeria must win the tournament. It is a season of winning across board for Nigeria. At the other side, we'll be talking Nigerian players abroad and their impact, especially how they are being overlooked by top European clubs.
Baba, I'm tired of losing on sport bets, so how do I improve my luck?
Olu, you don't need any luck with N1BET Casino. With N1BET, you get triple luck.
You know feel lose anyway. N1BET not the way. You get 20% cash back when you're betting no enter. You go get 100% of your first 3 deposits. And each deposit fee be your chance to win 500k jackpot.
Play games and win with N1BET Casino.
Yes, and welcome back. The show is still Football Bankers, made possible by N1BET. It's time to look at the performance of some Super Eagles players for their respective clubs as we build up to the new season. Remember, we said, why are the top clubs in Europe not paying attention to some of our top players? Farouk, remember last week on the show, we talked about Victor Osimhen finally pitching his tent, decided to remain with Galatasaray. We thought Osimhen should be playing for some other top clubs. It cuts across board. Super Eagles players, none you could say playing for any of the top clubs in Europe. Should this be a concern as we build up to the AFCON and the World Cup qualifiers?
All right, to be honest, how many of our players would you regard as top players? Yes, we've got players that play quite well in AC Milan and big clubs in Europe, but most of them are not starters. Most of them, they don't rely on them. The only player I think in the last 3, 4, 5 years that can always start in any club, they're just two, Victor Osimhen as well as Ademola Lookman, who is currently the best player in Africa. But beyond that, our players too are not really marketable. And that's a big fault on their agents. If you have an agent that can make you look as good, as better than what you really are, then they are doing you a good job. Someone said something really talking about the character of Osimhen, saying why bigger clubs refuse to sign him is because of his character. Talking about Gary Lineker, former English player, and also plays for Barcelona. And so for me, we need to find a way to market our players. Let them have a very, very good agent that will not, let them land into many controversies. At times, you want to defend them, you want to say they're doing the right thing, but most of those things come to all of them in the past. If you're an European player, you can go away with it. Ibrahimovic did a lot of nasty things while he was playing Balotelli, but this guy played constantly for bigger clubs because they are European players. But when you're an African player, you need to watch your character and at the same time always be at your best and also be very, very consistent at the highest level. The last player that have done that are just two in Nigeria. Talking about Osimhen as well as Lukman. So that is another lesson for players coming up at this point in time. Find a way to get yourself a very good agent and also your performance needs to be top.
Bolu, let's look at it this way. The role of an agent to either make or break a player. And especially, there is this talk among some of the foreign-based players that once you're a black player, there is this 50% disadvantage you already have, regardless of how good you might be on the pitch of play. But having a stellar agent that will be able to manage you, refine your career, regardless of what you could do on the pitch. We've seen the likes of Marcus Rashford move from Man United to Barcelona, a player that should be playing in the second division in England.
Well, you cannot take away the importance and the place of a football agent. Look at the late Mino Raiola. Look at who I think is the GOAT of agents, Jorge Mendes. Those guys, they know what to do at the right time. And sometimes what you sign, those guys don't let you just sign anything you want to sign. See Victor Osimhen's scenario. When Osimhen joined Galatasaray, he signed a contract extension with Napoli that added a few clauses. It's what got him into trouble with Napoli. Look at Ademola Lookman. He came out to say, well, I was promised and this. And the president had to say, no. We promised you to let you go for so amounts to foreign clubs, not clubs in Italy. So how did the agents, the lawyers, all of them miss those caveats inside? So I think you need top agents, no matter how poor a player is. And agents can make you look like world best. Yeah. That's why they tell you some things called YouTube videos. People talk about Osimhen's character. Oh, I agree 100%. But it's not as worse as like Farouk mentioned, the Balotellis and co. Balotelli played for Lassana Diarra. I remember how Mourinho complained about it. Any smart, if he plays, his agent in his office. You need contract extension. Yeah. If he doesn't play his agent in his office, this boy needs to go. Yeah. Lassana played for maybe by 5, 6, 7 big clubs across Europe. So you cannot take away the importance. Look at where Ronaldo needed a club. Officially, the agent wasn't hawking, but we know technically the agent was going from club to club, and he had a few clubs that wanted, just that the valuation money they couldn't agree. It's not every player that will have the luck of everybody wants to sign you. If they don't, you pitch him everywhere. Tell them what he has. They know the name. They probably don't rate him enough.
Yes.
Push him out there. Let them know this guy is good enough.
You market your stuff.
You market your man. You are not Cristiano Ronaldo. You are not Lionel Messi. Market your player, because I see players going to top opposition, top clubs, and I see Nigerian players going to relegation battling teams in England. And one major problem, I think all of them want to play in England. That one alone is a big disadvantage. You don't have to play in England to play in a top club. Boniface is in Leverkusen. Leverkusen is probably the one playing in the biggest club among all our Nigerian players.
But still putting you on the spot, what do you make of a Wilfred Ndidi from Leicester City to Besiktas?
Well, based on club history, everything, Besiktas is bigger. And Besiktas will likely play in the Champions League, but we know that this Leicester will likely not even play in the Conference League. Yeah. But you know this mindset of everybody wants to play in England. That's why I like Lookman. Yeah, I don't see Shege. Yes. He said, I'm not going back to the Premier League. Yes. Just play in a top team. Yeah. The top team is relative. There's Champions League top team, there's Europa League level, and of course there's now the Conference League. But the agents of our players need to do better. They need to do better. If not, we'll still see another top player in Nigeria, maybe even Lookman, play for another team in Turkey.
Well, very interesting. We'll continue to monitor proceedings as far as our players is concerned. The build up to the new season, hopefully they'll be able to play themselves to reckon in. Having a top agent is truly key for the advancement of any player's career. At the other side, we'll be talking the Community Shield. Remember, the action kickstarts this weekend as we build up to the new English Premier League season. Stick around.
Baba, I'm tired of losing on sport bets, so how do I improve my luck?
Olu, you don't need any luck with N1BET Casino. With N1BET, you get triple luck.
You know feel lose anyway. N1BET's not the way. You get 20% cash back when you're betting no entire. You go get 100%. 30% of your first 3 deposits. And each deposit fee be your chance to win 500k jackpot.
Play games and win with N1BET Casino.
Yes, now we build up to the new English Premier League season. Just in a couple of days, it will be action back on our TV screen. But remember, going down this weekend is the Community Shield, and Crystal Palace will be up against Liverpool. A fixture that guarantees plenty of action. Farouk, expectation for that game, more like a teaser to what to expect next weekend.
Well, it's the curtain raiser. Shield is at stake, and for Liverpool, they're the champions of England, and they also have to start like a household name. They've gotten so many players now. The money they've spent in the past, they've combined the transfer of 4 seasons all together. They've gotten a lot of players. Isak is still on the plane. Perhaps we'll join them at the course of the season. But one thing is for sure, Crystal Palace, you cannot throw them away. They've still got Mateta. They have Eze as well. Yeah. And they would push. They would want to do something, for themselves. But a lot of people don't rate this match. It's just like a ceremonial friendly for everyone to know that yes, the Premier League is about to start 3 or 5 days from that date. Hopefully, I will say best of football, but pressure will be on Liverpool because they've signed virtually everybody and they have to just justify that.
Bolu, your thoughts?
Well, one of the things I've said after Liverpool signing is I hope Arne Slot won't overcook. Yes. You have a perfect team that you got that won you the league title, and it feels like it's jigging them too much.
Too much.
Yeah. The player signing I know was necessary and was perfect was Frimpong, direct replacement for Trent. But on the left, you brought in Kekesh, arguably the best left back in the Premier League for last season. But you still have Robertson in your squad. You still have Shimikas as well in the team. Then brought in Florian Wirtz. How would you play? Will you go for 4-2-3-1? It means one of the midfield is leaving for you to have your top 9 and Salah with Florian Wirtz and Cody Gakpo, or you are taking Gakpo from too many questions to be asked. But for Palace, they don't overdo. Like Farouk mentioned, they still have their boys in the team, and they still have Maguire in defense. Yeah. They've not sold their key men, which I think they are going to compete. They also defeated 2 top teams on a route to winning the FA Cup for last season. So they are coming to compete, but any day, anytime. The Premier League winners are always the favorite to win the Community Shield. This was a friendly some years ago. But because of the talks of people call Super Cup competitions are here, so it's now becoming much more competitive, which will make it even more interesting. Palace are going to compete. Liverpool are still favorites. My only worry for them is how will the boys get together to synergize as a team? If it works out well for them, pray for Crystal Palace.
Farouk, how should I stick in this fixture? Where should I put my money? Both teams to score over 2.5, straight win for Liverpool. How should I stick?
If you look at the last 4-5 community shield, you see that not too many goals are being scored.
Except when those 2 useless Manchester clubs play.
Be careful. The last one was goalless. It was won by was 1-1. In fact, it was ending before Man City equalized. So not too many goals at this point in time because a lot of people are trying to avoid injury. They don't want to get this started with a very bad note. So for me, we'll just go for 1.5. That is 2 goals to be scored, or perhaps an outright win for Liverpool. But it is too difficult to call because you don't know exactly what the team will turn up out to be. So for me, just play safe. Perhaps just 1.5 or Liverpool win or draw. It's just a starter.
Yes, Bolo, the viewers would like to tie their ticket to your predictions. How should I stick in this fixture?
Why you don't tag out to Farouk?
No, yours. Farouk was neither here nor there. But for you, how should one stick in this fixture?
So that must enter trouble.
No, like stick out your neck.
But I'm going a bit towards Farouk in terms of the over 1.5 as well. Not too many goals may be scored. And I'm also looking at maybe both teams to score as well. It could be maybe 1-1 go to penalties or 2-1. That would definitely give you over 2.5. But I think I'm doing over 1.5 and also go both teams to score.
And you sure know that N1BET guarantees you the best odds as far as those fixture is concerned. So head up straight to N1BET.ng. I tell you, if you are also a first-time customer in just your first deposit, they guarantees you over 100% bonus on arrival. The payout mechanism is also as swift as possible. So N1BET is your best bookmaker at this time. So visit their website and stake for the Community Shield. At the other side, we'll be signing out with 1 or 2 transfer stories. Stick around.
Baba, I'm tired of losing on sport bets, so how do I improve my luck?
Olu, you don't need any luck with N1BET Casino. With N1BET, you get triple luck.
You know feel lose anyway. N1BET not the way. You get get 20% cash back when you're betting no enter. Hey. You go get 100% of your first 3 deposits. And each deposit fee be your chance to win 500k jackpot.
Play games and win with N1BET Casino.
The final lap of the show has been an amazing package, I must tell you, looking at stories making the rounds in the world of football. And it's time to talk a few transfer stories. Farouk, should I say congratulations? You guys, like you got a big man.
Yeah.
Can Seko really made it happen?
Well, he's one of the players that a lot of people are looking for in England, in Europe. Talking about Benjamin Sesko. Arsenal tried to sign him. Perhaps it didn't work out well before the one for Gyökeres, but at this point in time, Newcastle went with more money, but his preference is Manchester United. Saying that you don't have to be in the Champions League. Once you are big, you are big. And United are trying to do things right at this point in time. Do the player want them before they go for the player? That's what they're doing at this point in time. So for me, let's see exactly how it will pan out. Agreement has been done. Player wants United, and definitely he would sign with United. And once he starts bagging in the goals, all those money, you don't think about probably 85 million euros, 90 million euros. You don't think about that again. But to be honest, it's going to be a great addition to United, because what United lacked last season the most was goal scoring. The 2 strikers, Zexi and as well as Højlund, both of them scored 7 Premier League goals.
Wow.
And that's too poor for you to compete.
Very, very interesting. And let's talk about this man on the screen at this time. Ademola Lookman, neither here nor there. Atlanta, I thought they should give this young man a soft landing.
Well, there were reports that even Spurs, they've offered the 50 million euros.
He shouldn't go to Spurs.
Hopefully, they would get to sign. He wants Inter
They
Milan.
no cost Nigerian
Because
players.
if he goes to Inter Milan, that's definitely the biggest Nigerian player for
Yes.
this is. I hope they find a way to settle between themselves, because now he stopped going to training.
Yes.
In fact, he has gone to pack all his belongings from their training camp. This is another cement saga. I hope they just find a landing ground, settle with each other. But I would so love to see him with Inter Milan.
Very interesting. And Bulu, as we sign out to say, our heart goes out to the people of Portugal as well as fans and the management of Porto Football Club.
It was a sad thing. This year can't get even any worse. Remember the Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva. So the coach who died in Bayern Munich training one of their youth coach. Now, Jorge Costa, the captain of Porto when they won the Champions League under Jose Mourinho in 2004. He had a cardiac arrest in training on Tuesday, and he didn't recover from it. He lost his life at 53. That's a man that won loads, I think about 24 trophies for Porto, including the Champions League, over 300 appearances for the club. You needed to see Jose Mourinho's reaction to the news and all. So sad. We just pray God gives the family the fortitude to bear the loss.
Very interesting. And on that note, we are signing out on today's package. Farouk, in few words.
Well, the Premier League is upon us. The La Liga will start the same week with the Premier League. That is going to be very, very tasty. So guys, get back the remotes from the women, because it's also one housemate they are doing at this point in time. Nobody gets there for that now. Football is fully back. And it's coming home.
Bolo, we are so excited to be alive. I remember last season when we had this same discussion. Give the remote back to the men. And another time is upon us.
And someone was saying the one team that trash something will win the Premier League. We didn't know they will battle relegation. This time around, they won't battle relegation. They will only battle top half of the season. It's good to be back again. We've collected, I didn't mention anybody's name. We've collected the remote back.
Absolutely.
Starting from this weekend with the Community Shield. It gives us a teaser to what the league would be. And Farouk, the opening fixture is going to be exciting.
Very interesting. And on that note, we say the conversation continues across all our social media platforms on your screen. At this time, we keep talking sports 24/7. I'm Matthew Kugbe. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.